Hey chums, welcome back to Game with Chums Podcast. I'm your host once again, Paulie C, Paulie D, Paulie Cream. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna leave it there because I can't think of anything else. But yeah, joining me as always is my ever faithful sidekick and bit on the side, Mr. Ross. How are you?
On the side. You haven't even got a
Yeah,
main piece to have a side piece.
I don't have any pieces. I've lost all my pieces. It's all gone. How you been?
Rough. Still got this
Rough.
shitty cold or whatever the hell it is.
Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's been like five and a
Yeah,
half weeks so far.
yeah, mate. I've, I don't know what you got, mate. I had that sore throat. Remember when we went to the Chinese place? Went to MCM. We went to eat Chinese. I had to leave half my food there because I couldn't swallow it. Yeah, that was rough. I don't like. My sister kept thinking I had mono or something. I was like, no, it's just a throat infection, and antibiotics cleared it up. So, it's all
Uh,
good.
I had
Mm.
antibiotics last week and they've done nothing. So
The
good job,
antibiotics does
doctor.
nothing. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you should.
they gave me amoxicillin, which is the usual
Mm,
thing they throw at you, and it's done nothing. So I think I need something stronger. So
yeah,
let's see if I can get another appointment tomorrow and see if they can give me some drain cleaner to get rid of this thing.
yeah, yeah. You need it, like, because it's Christmas is coming up, and speaking of which, will be the last podcast we do of this year, so it's a perfect time to sort of do a year in review of the year just gone by. Well, the year we're still in, but you know how we think we done and what we played and what we're looking for, what we're hoping the channel will do next year, and what we're planning to do next year. So yeah, let's start off by talking about what we done this year, and how we think it went with the everything with the channel and everything. I'll let you start off, and I'll join in.
Well, we finally got monetized. It only
Yeah,
took nearly 7 years.
yeah,
So
give or take.
that's a good that's a positive step.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not too fussed about it because we know we're not really going to make any money from this, but it's nice to be
had the
like
option.
on the program, so to speak.
Mm, we are officially YouTube partners. We've been YouTube partners for the last 4 months, 3 months. When we got monetized, we passed the requirements, and now we
Past our
are
probation of 7 years.
we're officially monetized. Well, to be fair, like at the beginning, we were really on it. We were releasing videos nearly like every day. We would record in batches around our friend Dan's place, and we would put up a video definitely every week. And at one point, we were
Oh
putting a
no, it
video
was
up
like
nearly
three
every
a
day.
week to begin with. It was like
Yeah,
Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something.
yeah. I remember. Well, I do remember we did put up because videos quite frequently, and obviously now we slowed down a bit. Sometimes we don't put up anything. But we've noted we had to sort of slow down because our style has changed over the years. We went from purely a let's play channel, then we sort of started focusing more on co-oping, obviously this podcast and a lot more vlogging. Because the style of the heyday of let's plays have sort of has sort of died off on YouTube with the rise of Twitch and streaming. It's like people can just stream games for hours and hours and don't have to cut it up and put it in parts. So I think that sort of killed off the let's play sort of scene. There's still people out there who make let's plays, but it is sort of a dead sort of bygone piece of content now on YouTube. People are sort of the production values of some channels have gone higher. They're experimenting more. I mean, like you got YouTubers who create all sorts of content now, from food, travel to cars, football, all sorts. So yeah, we have sort of transitioned more away from being a purely let's play channel. we do probably at the moment more of sort of vlogging, recording events and anything sort of related to sort of subculture of gaming and you know um and anime. So yeah, that's what it's like. We are called a game of chums, but we seem to rarely play games on a big scale. I mean, we still do. We like the Let's Co-op series, but yeah, I think we are sort of moving more away from Let's Play, and it just doesn't like we don't get great amount of views, but when we were doing Let's Plays of a particular one game, the sometimes the views would just be absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, the
I
last few Let's Plays we've actually tried to do,
mhm,
some of the videos have been literally in the single figures. So
yeah,
we haven't done one for a while now. It's probably been over a year since we
mhm,
last thought to try and do one.
yeah,
And I had a couple on the go, and I just abandoned them because it's just no, they were going nowhere. They were like some of the videos had like 6 views, and it's just like this isn't worth our
mm,
time. And
yeah,
obviously, like the Let's Co-op stuff is kind of it is sort of functionally a Let's Play, but it's more about just the two of
mm,
us playing a game together. So we are still playing through the game, but it's more about like the co-op experience and just
yeah.
talking shit and playing the game. Whereas
I
like
feel
single solo Let's Plays are just it's not really worth our while to do them anymore.
I feel like with our exploring Game Pass, that's sort of lets us just sort of focus on one game and see what's available for on Game Pass. It's a good way for people to see what is available on Game Pass. But we've not really done that much. I think the last one we've done was about 10 months ago or something like that. Very long time ago.
Been a while.
Um, we do podcasts because I think that's it more interesting for people to hear your opinions and talk about like particular subjects or current events in gaming. So that's what's more doing, and obviously, like we do vlog a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's become second nature when we go to any sort of con or a gaming event. We will record, maybe to the detriment of like our experience and our enjoyment of it, and obviously, like yourself and I, we're used to recording. But when you're with someone who's not particularly comfortable about being recorded, obviously we ask their permission. Well, I always have to ask now because people just don't like a camera shoved in their face. But yeah, you can sort of see that people don't really want to be on camera. Like we got a video coming up of the pub crawl we mentioned. It was a video game pub crawl, so that's why we recorded it. And going through footage, obviously Roars and myself, we're obviously we came there to enjoy ourselves and to see the pubs, but we also were recording, and we're obviously like comfortable on camera and talking, and some things the other people there, it's not their fault. They just came out there to enjoy the pub crawl. Cool, sort of kind of didn't really want to do it. Obviously, when the drinks started to flow more, the guys were more willing and to talk on camera, but it is generally just Roz and myself who are sort of like just talking and chatting about the vibe of the pub we were just in and where we're off to next, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's we did start this channel, like you say, about 7 years ago. We released our first video, I think, about 6 years because we had the channel and we had the name, but we didn't have any content because we had to like all sort of chip in. You bought the record software equipment. I bought the blue snowboard to record. So we all sort of had to chip in. Obviously, these things cost money. Dan at the time he did lend us his room, but after a while, that sort of when he stopped participating, we couldn't really all gather there and have a recording session. It wouldn't be right. But yeah, like we have evolved. I've looked back on some of our early stuff. Obviously, we're not great at editing. We don't have particularly good software. We use like free software. But you can see like it is like we're just a bunch of guys, but a bunch of people just playing a game, having a joke, and drinking some beer, and that was
And
our whole
eating on
thing.
camera,
And eating, yeah, we stopped
on
doing
mic
that.
rather.
We stopped doing that after a while because when we, like, especially yourself, when you were editing, and when we watch the videos back, it's not great to have people chewing, drinking, uh, and just generally eating when we're recording because the mic picks it up and it just sounds awful. I do remember there was one video where Dan was having his bowl of cereal. You can just hear him eating the cereal in the back. That's just like, yeah, I mean, it's not his place, so we can't really. Maybe like with all our new rules, that's what put him off. But yeah, it just didn't sound good. And
Gave
now
it a
we try,
certain grounded quality, but it was also just kind of annoying when you're watching a video
yeah,
and just hear people chewing and crunching and
chewing,
stuff.
crunching on crisps and eating peanuts and nuts and shit. It's just not great. So we sort of have changed over the years. Obviously, like, oh, every channel sort of goes through certain sort of evolution in a way. But yeah, like, I never thought we would start a podcast, and once, like, we always set ourselves a goal: if we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll just start a podcast, see what happens. I mean, everyone's done doing a podcast now, but I'm happy that we branched out, because I think after a while, like, doing just let's plays would become a bit tedious after a while,
I think we
especially if you're
probably
not.
would have stopped doing anything by if we just
Mm,
stuck to doing Let's Plays. We don't think this
mm,
channel would still be going, to be honest. We would
yeah,
have been either we would have got sick of it or would have got demoralized by the low views or both, and we would have just said, you know what, sod this. And it's too good
it
a channel name to waste.
yeah, it's a good play on a good play on words, which is really good when you came up with that. So full
Made more
credit to.
sense when
Uh,
Game of Thrones was more popular, but
mm.
now it's just sunk in.
It's weird when I have had people read out on live stream when I've, like, commented on stuff, read on the name of the channel out. They always look at it and go, a game with chums has donated or commented on this, and it's just always weird to see them. It's like, it's not a hard word sentence to pronounce, is it? It's not a hard name. A game with chums, and they just look at it and go, a game with chums. I'm like, oh yeah,
It's
it's a
because they probably expect, like most people, the accounts are probably just like a person's name because it's their own like account they
personal.
just watch videos with and stuff, but
Mm,
rather than like
yeah,
it being a channel name.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we do live stream. I live stream on Twitch, solely at the moment, just myself doing that. But any sort of social media we're on, we sort of branched out to TikTok, which I hate. I despise TikTok. It's just absolute shit on there. It's
Hmm.
like Twitter, but video form. It's just got that dregs. I mean, there's some good stuff on there, don't get me wrong, but generally it's not good. I never thought I'd see the day when you can watch videos of people being attacked, people actually being killed, being robbed, and it's just normal now. It's just how of a society we are, and it still shocks me when I see stuff like that, and I just don't like it. And it just seems very prevalent on certain platforms.
So keep waiting, watching out for
Mm.
our sister
Well,
channel, a robbery with chums where we go around like
yeah,
robbing people and
just
live blogging
assaulting
it.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look out for that.
it's yeah.
2024.
That's way the Western society is. It's very narcissistic, I think, and and I mean, I don't want to get too much into that, but that's how it is. But yeah, like, this year we've gone to a lot of cons, some good, some absolute dire crap.
Some we won't
Uh,
return to.
some of them we won't be going to. Uh, I mean, what what would you say, like, of all the cons we've been to? What would you be your favorite,
Probably
and which one do you?
LAGC at this point.
Mm, yeah, I agree with you there. I think it used to be MCM for me, but now
Same.
I think it's just sort of lost its spark, and it's not as good as it was pre-pandemic. It's I don't know, maybe it's we go there. We go there like used to go there every year. Each event, the one in the summer and one in the winter. But I don't know. It's just I haven't been able to put my finger on it. It's just not as good as it once was,
Vibe's
and
different. It's
vibe
like
is way off.
it's just that there's less to do as well since the pandemic. Like it feels like a lot of exhibitors just haven't come back. So there's less to look at, less to do. The panels don't seem to be as good as they used to be.
Mm,
I mean, I remember we had panels from like the cast of The Last of Us, but just before that game came out.
mhm,
Um, and you had like big name voice actors. And now, well, I think they still do get some, but now you have to pay for them, which kind of changes the vibe of it a bit. Because
mm,
before you could just join a queue and just get your stuff signed and like chat to a well-known voice actor for a few minutes, which was pretty cool. But they had,
mm,
I remember, I think it was before Battlestar Galactica spin-off Caprica came out. They had like Ronald D. Moore there doing a talk on like his career and how he kind of started out Battlestar Galactica, and that was pretty big for me because like he was one of the main guys on Deep Space Nine, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and then the BGS reboot, which I also love. And stuff like that was like we don't even go to the panels now because we look at them and go, we used to go to at least one panel like every con, and now we don't even bother. It seems like there's less. I don't know if it's just there's less excitement around it. There's less going on. There's less exhibitors.
uh, yeah, Mr. Ross is coughing.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Square Enix. We always used to hit up the Square Enix store. That hasn't been there for a few years now. Rice Digital used to be one of the best places to go. I don't think they even exist anymore. All the anime used to turn up, and they used to have like discounts on their flashy special editions and stuff. I haven't seen them there for
Mm,
ages. Manga
yeah.
used to be there. I haven't seen manga there for ages. Like, it just feels
Yeah.
like nobody gives a crap anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard as a punter to give a crap when
Yeah.
nobody's turning up for it.
I mean, yeah, we can dedicate our whole podcast to how the fall of MCM, but well, I think like yeah, like you said, I enjoy LAGC, London Anime and Gaming Con. We will be attending all 3 days in February as press. We mentioned on the last podcast, so that's a new spin on the on everything. I think that's good. I've been trying for a bit to get us on to more events, and obviously been rejected from Hyper Japan and MCM, but and LAGC.
Rejected from LAGC before as well.
Yeah,
Now they changed their
but
mind.
now they changed their mind because our videos do really well on there. And the lady who sort of runs is like I think she's the head of marketing. She's always on stage when the cosplay events on. Um, yeah, she's commented on some of our videos, so hopefully that swayed her to give us press passes, which
She's
I'm
like,
really
hey,
looking
these
forward to.
drunken idiots are all right.
We're nice people. But that's a new one. We will be having access to all the backstage and everything, so that'll be interesting. Maybe we'll having it. We'll see if we can get like interviews with some of the pun people attending, the special guests. That'll be cool. So I'm
It'd be pretty
really
cool if you
looking
could
forward
talk
to
to
that.
some of the organizers as well and like just
Yeah, I
try and sort
mean,
of pick their brains around like
pick,
organizing a con like that. That'd be pretty
yeah.
interesting.
So yeah, we're going that's a milestone for our channel actually getting press passes. I'm really pleased with that.
Mm.
It's our favorite con, and we do enjoy it when we go
Mm.
there. It's a small independent. It's growing, but it's still got that sort of independent sort of vibe to it, which I like, and I'm really hope it does get larger. It's just a shame that in that same month, Anime Con is coming and it's after LAGC. So hopefully that will overshadow it, but hopefully that
Mm.
people
It's
won't just
probably
forget
good that
about
it's
it.
after it. It'd probably
Mm,
be worse for LAGC if it was before it, or
yeah,
heaven forbid at the same on the same weekend or something.
no, it
But it's
was.
probably good because people will probably go to LAGC as like the warm-up act maybe, but they'll still go to both if it's that way. Whereas if they go to Anime Con and it blows everyone's mind, people are probably going to be less
Mm,
willing to go to LAGC the following week or whatever if it was the other way around.
yeah. So speaking of like the what we've done this year for the channel, we have gone to. I did want to branch out and try different cons. and in other cities apart from London. We did go to the anime manga pop in Brighton, which was
It
we,
sucked.
it wasn't great. I mean, hopefully that grows because apparently they do it in other cities as well. They have one in London. They had one in London. I'm really surprised they managed to like. It's probably one of the very, 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 very um smallest cons we've ever been to. It wasn't
I don't
particularly
know.
great,
Do you
but
remember CroyCon?
oh yeah, Croicon. Remember that? That video did better than the one the anime manga pop. So yeah, I remember Croicon. There's nothing else going on in Croydon anymore, so that's gone as well. I think
So
that was
that
in
at least that was worse than Animanga Pop, but Animanga Pop was bad.
was very bad. But hopefully they people it will get more interest and it can grow. But with anime can't come into to the UK for the first time, that's gonna kill. That's gonna be the premium con, and of course we will be attending. We'll be there with our cameras, recording and getting on people's nerves and being drunken fools.
Sadly, not
Uh,
as press.
not as press this time. I mean, I didn't even try to get press passes. I just sort of went on. We're not going to get it, but
Hmm.
if it does well and it has another show, I will definitely try and get press passes for that. But like speaking of which, like if you look back on the on the year on 2023, anything in particular you're proud of, or anything that we've done that's sort of different? Because I remember last year I was pretty proud of doing a pop quiz for the first time. You remember the Final Fantasy quiz, which is something different, and we've not actually done it again, even though we did have a good time at it. Um, so like anything in particular you would consider a proud moment for you at this channel?
Well, before you get to that, because you mentioned it, I have been thinking
Mm,
about the quiz since we did it really, and I'd like to try and do it again and do it better. We can't do it over like Teams because it was such a mess with all the delay and everything. But
mm.
I'd like to, I don't know, I had an idea sort of brewing in my head that I'd like to just kind of um you, I don't know, like find a room somewhere, even if we like had to rent a room for a couple of hours or something, and then do it sort of um live, so to speak. It'd be pretty cool to do as a live stream for an hour or something. And then there'd be no delay on stuff like people hitting their buzzers and saying an answer, and turns out the other person actually buzzed first, but because of the delay and everything, it was a big mess. So got ideas in my
Thank
head
you.
for what I'd like to
Thank
do.
you. Thank you. I was pretty proud of that. You
No, I
big
mean
mess.
it was a good idea and I enjoyed doing it, but it's just it didn't really work over Teams.
Mm,
Um, and it's definitely something I've been thinking about since. I really want to do it again, but try and find a way to improve on what we did. But it was definitely a good idea. I really enjoyed it. But this year, I mean, it's been a weird year because it's our output has dropped quite a bit this year,
mm,
in large part due to me, um, because of where I'm working now and like my commute being so long. I get home, it's just like I've got no free time during the week,
mm.
and then during the weekend, it's like I want to do stuff, so I don't
Yeah.
really get the chance to record. So I'm trying to hoping to set some time aside at Christmas and just get a couple of videos out. But yeah, weird year. Output's kind of
Yeah.
dropped, but we've branched out a bit more. And so- and like you said, like we went to our first con outside of London, which I'd like to do more of this year if we can. And another thing I've been thinking, because we've both been kind of getting a bit disillusioned with MCM, I'm thinking maybe we should try it in another city and see if it's any better. Because I know what they do in like Manchester, Birmingham, Edinburgh, I think.
I think they
Um,
do it in. Yeah, we don't want to go Birmingham. You
well,
we
that
want
would
to
be the
enjoy the
closest one
city.
to us, but
Mm,
but yeah, we can sort of have a look at it in the new year and see if we want to go to another one. So we could
yeah.
just go, like, don't have to like get a hotel room or anything because that's expensive, but just like go for a day and then come back,
Yeah.
or a push like stay one night so we can just see what the city's like. But yeah,
Mm,
that's one thing I'd say, because like we did branch out this year with Animanga Pop, something we've both talked about for a while. So I'm glad we finally did it. It's a shame that it was like one of the worst cons we've ever been to. But hey, it was a day out in Brighton. That's never a bad thing.
Mm.
So that and getting monetized are the two things really. Because we've been watching that watch hours meter kind of, it got to like here, and then it
Mm.
just kind of hung there for like 2 years, and we didn't really get anywhere, and we were like, this is just never going to happen. And then it just kind of happened out of the blue during this year. So like I said earlier, probably never going to make any money out of this stuff, but it's not about that. It's just about, at least we kind of have that recognition for ourselves now that we've kind of managed it.
Mm.
Um, it's an achievement, even if it's like it's not a huge achievement, because a lot of people start later than we did and got monetized a lot earlier than we did. But given how the channel's gone, it feels like an achievement for us, and I'm proud of that.
Mm.
And then like on top of that, finally getting press passes for a con is feels pretty good to get
Yeah.
that, because we've been pushing for that for at least what 2, 3 years at various different cons and getting knocked back. And our videos are often like among best performing videos for LAGC as well. Like there are some that do really well, and then there's sort of like some that do pretty well, which is where ours sit. And then there's loads that just don't really do anything, which is where a lot of our other videos sit. But our LAGC ones tend to do pretty well, so it's good to kind of get that. And we're going to see what that experience is like in Feb,
Mm.
and I'll try and put this journalism degree to use, I guess. See if we can get some interviews in, because I'd like to do a bit more, because we tend to do sort of like almost like a supercut of a con we go to, where we'd like do an intro and we'll just like grab short clips here and there, and then we stitch it together. It was kind of like the experience of the day thing, but I'd like to try and use these press passes to get a bit more different content in the videos, because there'll probably be multiple videos because we're going to be going for 3 days. Um, but we might do something different with these ones. Excuse me. And it'd be good to try and get some different kind of content on them, like interviews and stuff,
Mm.
which means we're probably going to have to buy a mic, because just shoving a phone in someone's face isn't going to cut it.
I don't know. I mean, I see people using their phones. I mean, why not? Phones good. Like the quality is good of modern
It's not really
phones.
though. The audio quality isn't great from phones when
Yeah,
people
well,
talk about them.
I would like to get people not on the show floor. If they're backstage, maybe it'll be a bit more quieter. But we'll see what happens. My phone doesn't even have an audio jack, so that's out the window unless you get a Bluetooth one.
Yeah, you can get
Um,
a USB-C mic.
yeah, get one of those. We'll see. We'll be prepared. We'll have to start talking about that in the new year. Preparing for going to the con as press, which is
So
good. I'm
speaking of the
glad
new
that.
year,
Mm.
what are our plans going to be other than what we've talked about? Anything else we want to try and do for the year
Well,
ahead?
yeah. I mean, I got a plan to do a series. We missed out on month of horror. We just none of it. It just flew by us. I just
Didn't have the
completely
time.
forgot. So I've been watching a lot of chillers art games. I plan to do like a whole series of just playing all their chiller art games, and then the games are not very long, in about an hour or hour and a half. So I just want to do like a whole series of just playing through all of them. That I think that'd be good. They look like fun games to play. Very basic. The graphics aren't great, but it looks like fun. So plan to do that. I just want to do the whole series, have its own playlist, start a new series, all plays chiller art games. I don't know, something all get scared senseless on chiller art games, something like that in that way. In terms of like videos, obviously I like to try something different, maybe do a Dungeons and Dragons campaign or something a bit different, just like maybe a few one-off special sort of series. obviously, like you said, you want to do like a another sort of quiz, but in with all of us together. We'll see who we can get for that because trying to if we, I mean, if it, like, I think that people will be down for playing it, but once you put a camera in people's faces,
Mm.
maybe they'll be less inclined to do it. But
We need to
we'll see.
expand our catalog of hangers on that we can call on for stuff as well.
Yeah,
If
I
we're going to
mean,
do stuff like D&D one shots and stuff, that'd be good
uh,
to do, but you need a decent chunk of people for that.
yeah, I mean, we can get a few people together, rustle up a few. I was thinking of doing like something games related. This is going to sound silly, but there's like lots of like sweets and foods related, like with gaming branding on it, or like the Pokemon have their sort of foods and stuff. I'm thinking I just get buying a load of them and doing sort of like a little having a taste and reviewing it because I see that does work. Those sort of videos
Hmm.
do well, but I kind of like it's something different, and it's something
Gaming
game.
mukbang.
Yeah, it's like just like by there's those Super Mario drinks you can get. Remember they have them in London. They're themed, probably like their energy drinks or like soft drinks, but something like that, like where I can go in just buy like a load of like anime or gaming food, like stuff, themed stuff, and just try it and have a review. Just me sitting in front of a table, camera, and just trying it and see if that does well. I mean, why not? I'm willing to give something new a try. Oh, how's this Pikachu sandwich or cake is?
Deep
Yeah,
fried Pikachu.
I don't know. Like, so I'm willing to try it and just see what happens and see how well that does. Obviously, like you say, want to interview people the con, so that'll be something different as well. That'll be its own separate video. I wouldn't put that in like the con video. That'll be like their own sort of separate videos. I mean, that whole being there for 3 days, will
Probably be a fair
probably
few videos.
probably be a fair few. Uh, Another aim if we could get press passes, or if we can be like on a panel, like as guests. I don't think we're nowhere there. Our subscription base is very small, but that's something I would like to see in the future, like where we can actually like we'll be on stage or behind, like as guests.
Mm.
That bit because that's something that scares me. But I mean, I would be nervous, but you got to try it, man. Like you never know until you try it, and also see how it goes. Obviously, we might be fairly lubricated, so we can't get
Well,
too lubricated.
we've seen some
Mm,
bad panels in our time, so at
mm.
the very least we can manage a bad panel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing. That's my sort of aims and goals for the channel in the future for next year. Maybe the year after that, I can try and become guests if we can sort of gain a bit more momentum. Because our channel seems to like stagnate. What like we don't grow at all for a couple of months, and then we start
Mm.
growing a bit more. It's just about the consistency of like growth because like, we still haven't had that sort of standout video. We've done had really worked up videos done really well, but we haven't had that one where it's like sort of blown up, where it's gotten to like nearly 100,000 views. And that's another one I sort of want to try and achieve because it's like you say, it's not all about the achievement, the money. I just sort of want to have something you can look back and go, oh yeah, that hit X amount of views. That's done really well. I'm pleased with that. Something that you can sort of be proud of, you
Mm.
know, if
Personal
that makes sense.
milestone kind of deal.
Yeah, personal milestone. I mean, I would like to go to, I don't know if they do them in the UK. If there's any sort of like art sort of exhibitions regarding like sort of anime or gaming, I'd like to go to one of those, try that and see about that. I know they do them in America and they definitely do them in Japan, but I would like to try and go to one if they do it in the UK. I might have a little scout around on the old Google and see if there's anything like that coming up next year. I
Mm.
definitely like we'll get a little squad, or it'll probably just be me and you.
Mm.
Trying to get people to do things these days is very difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we got that the video game pub crawl. That was a new idea. That was good. I thought I wanted to do something with it with our friends, which we all could enjoy.
And we'll probably
And
try and do that again as well when the weather's a little milder as well.
yeah, I just thought because it was because like, we normally have like a Christmas lunch with our friends and we exchange gifts. We didn't do that this year. We opted to do that instead. I thought it was pretty good. Would have liked to see it through to the end as a sense of achievement. You know, some people were tired. Well, believe the majority of us would have liked to done it, but if next time, if I can get a bigger a group together and someone wants to drop out, then at least we can carry on.
Yeah.
If they want to stay, then that's their prerogative, and we can just carry on and see it through to the end because I would like to get the job done. It would have
Mm.
been a nice sense of achievement, but I can see why people didn't want to finish it.
And
It's
like I
hard
say, it'll
to.
be easier in milder weather as well because it was so cold that day.
It
Like you
was
walk
cold.
into a pub and you start defrosting and you're like, okay, now we're leaving again. And you're like, oh no. So yeah,
Yeah.
when it's
Well,
milder weather.
we all knew what we were getting into. It's not like we didn't know what was going to
Well, I
happen.
mean,
So
it was planned weeks in advance, so we didn't know at that point it was going to be -1 that day. We knew in the
yeah,
days leading up, obviously, but yeah, when it's milder weather, I think it'll be more doable.
yeah. I mean, if it's milder weather, yeah, cool. Like we can do it, but that wasn't the excuse used not to complete it. It was just like I think at that point, people were just like, "Oh, I can't be bothered anymore." So I was just like, "Okay,
I don't think it was the excuse not to complete it, but I think it was the excuse for spending longer than we needed to in a lot of places because it was so
mm,
cold outside. So you get comfortable after a while. Don't think
mm.
it was like an unspoken thing. Um, I think it'll be a lot easier to walk out of a warm pub when it's not -1 degrees outside.
Well, we will see." And if it happens again, and I'll be just be like, "Oh, well,
Well,
yeah,
we'll make sure we've got a larger group doing it as well, so that if one person doesn't want to do it, we can just go, okay, bye, and
yeah,
carry on.
see you later." Yeah, but yeah, that's what. Obviously, we're going to carry on with the with making video game content. Um, that's not going to change, but we are doing less of it. It's hard to get to do to be entertaining on a video on a let's play, especially when you're by yourself. I think like when we did it as a group, it was more entertaining because we all sort of bounced off each other a bit more.
That Life is
Uh,
Strange Let's Play we did was really good fun because there were four of us on it.
well,
It's harder to do that when you've got one person doing it.
someone didn't like doing the video, didn't like the game, but I think they and eventually it was just just me and you at the end of it anyway. You
Yeah,
can see the disintegration of the group.
the original Chums.
Chums sort of not fall apart. We're still friends, but yeah, it sort of like sort of disintegrated there. So yeah, that's the plans. I mean, like there'll probably be something that will crop up that is unplanned. Like like something will happen where we want to do something, or a game gets released, or something like that. We'll come up with an idea during the year. You know, this is just like some basic ideas we've got planned for the channel. That we'll definitely come up with something new. Like we definitely do more Let's Co-op stuff. We still need to finish Halo. I would like to get onto something else after that, maybe a Gears game or something. I enjoy Gears, or maybe another sort of different sort of co-op game. But who knows? Like maybe even live stream, like Roars and myself can live stream together. It'll be it'll be an idea. But yeah, I think anything else you want to add to that before we start wrapping up for this year?
It won't be a new thing because we do it every year, but obviously there'll be like the Xbox showcase, which we'll live stream together.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they might do another Dev Direct this year, which was what, January? Not next
Mm.
year, rather, which was January this year, I think. And
Yeah.
then Sci-Fi Rush and Shadow dropped it. So there might be one of those next month or February, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you say, things are going to just kind of happen and we'll react to them as they do. But obviously, like the Xbox showcase in the summer, we'll be doing that, live streaming that.
Mm. Yeah, don't expect any sort of like hot tub streams or anything like that from us. When that's not our sort of bag.
We
We
ain't
will
in
be
that
doing that
now.
now. We ain't in that sort Sphere. I'd like to do a collab with another YouTube channel. Actually, we haven't done one. There's been opportunities. Obviously, the two gaming are they two gaming guys, two gaming dudes? There was talk of us playing together at one point. I was communicating back and forth, and then obviously their channel got like sort of nuked because they started doing like risky sort of anime sort of porno games, and they got completely their channel got completely struck down, and they never started a new one. I think they started a film review. I still talk to a couple. Still talk to one of them on and off via social media. But yeah, that was an idea that was floating around doing a collab with another channel. Obviously, you have to have a rapport. I can't just go around messaging random YouTubers going, "Do you want to do a collab?"
Mm.
But
Sorry, who are
that
you?
yeah, that would be interesting if we like sort of similar size channels and stuff. I think that'd be beneficial. That'd be good, just to have another sort of voice in the commentary. But yeah, what have you thought about the games this year? Like gaming in general this year. There's been some absolute bangers that's been released this year.
They have, and I
Uh,
haven't played a lot of them.
that's why we're not a gaming channel anymore, mate.
Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, haven't played either of them. I own
No.
Tears of the Kingdom, haven't played it. But then that's down to me thinking Breath of the Wild was just decent. I didn't enjoy it as much as most people did. So Tears of the Kingdom was just kind of, yeah, I'll get to it. And it's still over there
It's gathering dust on your
on the
shelf.
shelf. I'll get to
Yeah.
it at some point.
Yeah.
But my question for you is going to be rather than that, because we kind of went through a bit of that with our TGA talk anyway, talking about like the big
Mm.
hits of the year. What is the best game you've played this year? Doesn't have to have come out this year, just that you played this year.
Mm. Best game. I want to say it's a controversial one. Hogwarts Legacy. I know that's obviously that's thanks to the creator of the Harry Potter franchise. It's not it caught sort of is a bit of a naughty one to suggest, but I did enjoy it. I always wanted to play a Harry Potter game, and I can't deny it is a good game. Um, I wouldn't say like I could say Starfield, but I don't think it's been the best game I've played. It's obviously a Bethesda game. It's not. I don't think it sort of gripped me as much as Skyrim. It's still good. I think it's better than Fallout 4. Um, but it's not as grown on me as much as I thought it would have. But I still enjoy it. But yeah, maybe that's yeah, that probably yeah, maybe like Persona 5 Royal. I played the vanilla game, but then the Persona 5 Royal got released on Game Pass. I bought the physical edition. I enjoyed that, what I played. Uh but yeah, that's kind of my you mean like what I haven't really played as many games as I would have liked to. Like you say, time and life, and when you get older, you seem to have less time to enjoy your sort of hobbies, which is a
Mm.
shame. Is like you said, there's been some really good games that's been released this year. I haven't played most. Hi-Fi Rush is good. That was unexpected. Really enjoyed that. I think it should have got more love. Probably yeah. That Hi-Fi Rush is probably my most unexpected game that I thought that I enjoyed. But yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if anything else that I really enjoyed. I mean, I always seem to go back to the classics BioWare games, but I am looking forward to. I did enjoy. I think it was this year, or no, it wasn't this year. I played it. When did Legendary Edition got released? It was 2 years ago, pretty much. I think.
Think so.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Dreadwolf coming out. I mean, let's talk about what we're looking forward to playing next year. Probably like yeah, Dreadwolf. Hopefully, Hellblade 2 will come out next year.
Well, that was going to be my next question. What are you looking
Mm,
forward to next year?
yeah. So yeah, probably Avowed. That looks good. I'm kind of looking forward to playing that. Um, yeah, I don't think Fable will come out next year. That probably will be
Probably not.
25. GTA 5's coming out in 25. Um, I know you're not a big GTA fan, but that's sort of like
Rockstar
the
in general, I've never played a Rockstar game I've enjoyed.
mm,
I just can't get into them.
yeah. I mean, but what about yourself? What would you say is your game that you've enjoyed this year and what you're looking forward to?
Um, well, kind of game that I've probably enjoyed the most that came out this year is Alan Wake 2,
Oh yeah,
which
I
is
haven't played
just
that yet.
extremely good. I still haven't finished it. I'm at the point of no return
Uh-huh.
now, so I'll probably finish it up this week, but it's just a very, very good game.
Mm,
Games I played this year that didn't come out this year that I really liked. One was Broken Age, from Double Fine,
mm,
because I played um, Psychonauts 2 in 2021 when it came out, and that game is, as far as I'm concerned, that game is a masterpiece. That was
mm,
probably my game of the year that year. It was incredible, and it got me wanting to sort of like play a few more Broken Age, a few more Double Fine games because I've only played about three or four of their games prior to Psychonauts 2 coming out. So I played Broken Age and then was meaning to go on to a couple more of their shorter games, but I just didn't get around to it. But Broken Age was really good. Felt a little bit rushed in the second half, but I really, really enjoyed the world and the characters. And the typical one thing they certainly nailed is the borderline anti-logic of the adventure game puzzles. So there were times I had to go, like, what am I supposed to do here? So I had to look at a like spoiler-free guide just to get a couple of steps here and there. But yeah, really enjoyed that. Really good story, really good characters. And the other one probably Ease 8, which I finally played this year, which I've been meaning to play since ever since it came out on the Vita in like, I don't know, I can't remember when that game came out, 2015 maybe. Um, I decided to play all of the Ease games. I still have three I need to play, but Ease 8 I played this year, and it took me like 50 hours, and it was a really good game. It was probably a little bit too long, a little bit longer than it needed to be, but it was very good. Um, yeah, I think that's about it really. I think my runner-up for game that came out this year would probably be Jedi Survivor. So it is very good, but I think I prefer the first one because it's a bit more streamlined, a bit more focused, and also the performance on Jedi Survivor was pretty bad in places on console. Apparently, it wasn't any better on PC to begin with, but despite all that, good game. But yeah, I think
mm.
that's my answer to that question.
What are
Answer
you looking
to
forward to?
what am I looking forward to? I'm not really sure at the moment. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of undated. Obviously, you mentioned Avowed and Hellblade. They're probably my top two at the moment because I mean, you've got to love an Obsidian RPG, haven't you? And it's in the Pillars of Eternity world. Still need to play Pillars of Eternity 2 at some point, but I really like the first one. So I might play that at the beginning of the year to catch up a bit. Um, and then Hellblade, I love the first Hellblade. Um, so the second one surprisingly got dated at the TGAs, so that'll come out sometime this year unless it gets pushed back like all games do this year. And then probably Final Fantasy 16. I'm assuming it's going to come out in sometime in the next few months on PC at least. So going to assume I'm going to be playing that this year. It'll be nice to be finally be excited for that game because I say some of the people that worked on Heaven's Ward expansion for Final Fantasy 14 that I absolutely love worked on that. And I remember when I was playing Heaven's Ward when it came out, I was thinking, man, I would love a new like mainline single player Final Fantasy from these people. And then they announced exactly that, and I couldn't get excited for it because it was PS5 exclusive. So my all my feelings around that game have been very just drenched in annoyance until hopefully it gets announced very soon and I can start to get excited for it. So it looks good from what I've seen, and Masayoshi Soken's soundtrack is never to be sniffed at. So I think that's the one that I'm the most sort of concrete on because that should be coming in the next few months because the exclusivity contract will be up end of the year. So hopefully a couple of months after that it'll be out on PC. And then Avowed and Hellblade, obviously we don't know when they're coming in the year, but hopefully they both do. I'm looking forward to both of those.
Yep. Yeah, sounds good, man. Well, happy Christmas because the time this podcast comes out, it'll be coming out on the weekend, the week of Christmas. It'll be the last one. So, like, Happy New Year. We'll probably hear back. We'll be back in a shiny brand new year, 2024, with hopes and dreams,
Hmm.
which will
And
never
hopefully
get
no
fulfilled.
colds and illness.
Yes. So, yeah, I think that's been it for this year. It's been ups and downs, been some excitement, some new challenges, and yeah, it's been a mixed bag, but mostly positive. And I hope everyone will enjoy the final video of the year of the video game popcorn. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but it will be coming out. I was
Better
saving
be a
that for
damn good
Christmas.
video, Paul.
It better, yeah, hopefully, yeah. I mean, I've watched some of the. You definitely see us getting progressively more drunk in that video. So
That's
it
how
should
pub
be.
crawls go.
That's how they go. That's how they do. But yeah, hopefully we can do some more stuff like that in the future in next year. We'll wait and see, but we'll definitely be back with some shiny new content and less let's plays because we're not a let's play channel anymore, clearly.
Hmm.
But
Barely
yeah, I
even a
think that's
video game channel anymore.
barely. Yeah, we're something. Don't know what we are really. We're like a bastardized version or something. But yeah, we're more of a vlog channel, I think. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Happy New Year,
Indeed.
Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys in 2024.
Yes, that was the year that was. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Bye.
If you don't celebrate it, then happy festive time, I guess, and everything. Have a lovely New Year.
Well,
Bye.
everyone celebrates New Year, so Happy New Year.
Yes,
See you.
exactly. Happy New Year. Well, maybe not
Bye.
the Chinese because they got their own New Year, but
Yeah. All right. Let's not complicate things. All right. Bye.
happy